Hi, it's your boy, Sergeant Hooked on Heroes, hitting you with another brand spanking new video in this playlist here known as the most badass moments in Power Rangers. Hashtag Power Month. A happy Power Month to all, and to all a more phenomenal month. So today we're talking about a really, really fun season and one of my very good, one of my few favorites, which is Power Rangers Zeo. This is a very unique season. We had just come hot off the heels of Mighty Morphin. And at the time, Saban finally decided to change the Sentai that they're using and change the main suits. If you don't know, with Mighty Morphin, it was so wildly successful that once they got through season 1, which burned through pretty much all of their footage that they had from Zyuranger, they actually contacted Toei, and Toei actually filmed all new footage with the suits and called it Zeo 2. It's been dubbed by the community, and I think by them too, Zeo 2 footage. A lot more of Rangers interacting that didn't interact a whole lot. You know, the team and everything didn't interact a lot in Zyuranger. Adding a lot more body movements to the suit actors. That more directly reference how the Rangers act in Power Rangers. A lot more scenes with what would be Barai and May, so the green and pink, because they didn't have a lot of scenes in Zyuranger together, but Tommy and Kimberly do. So that's what they did for that. And then in season 2, of course, where we get the Thunderzord footage, which is from Die Ranger. The only Die Ranger suit we ever get is, of course, the White Ranger suit, which is the White Ranger from Die Ranger. Then, of course, as we know, in Season 3, we introduced the Equation Rangers, which were entirely the Kaku Ranger suits from Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. So it was really a unique kind of, like, whirlwind of ideas and everything, where they were just... Saban was just stuck on not changing those Zyuranger suits, right? The Mighty Morphin suits. Because they're so iconic and what have you. Well, eventually when Zeo came around, they decided to actually use the next Sentai, which was O-Ranger. Chiriki Sentai O-Ranger, I'm pretty sure. And good on them, honestly. The Zeo suits are absolutely beautiful, and Zeo itself is one of my very favorite seasons and a pretty well universally loved season. But as far as badass moments, we have to get into it, right? So my number one badass moment is absolutely Jason coming back to be the Gold Ranger. I thought it was a really cool idea, and I think that they executed it pretty well. I do think he deserved to have an actual morpher. I think it's really goofy in show he didn't, but that they eventually put out the gold Zeonizer, just basically a gold repaint of the Zeonizer. And I do think it was a missed opportunity not to let Billy be the Gold Ranger, especially because there's a few times where it's kind of a fake out where you think it's him, but it's not. But we do, as we know, unfortunately now, there is a lot of behind-the-scenes ridiculousness, a lot of homophobia about the actor David Yost, and it was eventually what pushed him to leave the franchise entirely until more recently when we see him come back for Once and Always, and now in Cosmic Fury as a mentor in that as well. Definitely getting his comeuppance as an actor in terms of how he was treated then as opposed to now. But it was still a really cool moment to see Jason, who was the Red and the leader of the original Mighty Morphin team, come back and be their 6th Ranger for the new team for Zeo, was really cool. And I think they did a lot of really good things with him. I do think they could have done more to show what his civilian life was outside of being a Ranger now, because last we saw he was at the Peace Conference and everything. We know in the comics what he was doing, but to see it in show would have been really cool also. But I really like it. I think it's cool to bring such an awesome legacy character back to be their new Ranger. And it going from Trey of Triforia, who Triforians are basically 3 separate beings that are all in one, basically triplets, whatever. And they transfer that power to Jason to let him use it for a while. And it's really cool. And you get some pretty badass scenes in it, honestly, to fight with. Pyramidas is a decent Zord. It being the Zord carrier and a mecha itself was really cool. And just in general, seeing the awe of seeing Jason come back and being a whole new Ranger was just really cool. Only superseded by things like Tommy being Zeo Red or, I guess, Turbo Red, but not really. Or really when Tommy became back as Dino Thunder Black. I'm recently rewatching Dino Thunder, so it's fresh in my mind. That's my number one badass moment. Probably my follow-up to that. would probably be, I think it's that King for a Day episode where they brainwash Tommy into thinking he's the king, that he's King Mondo or whatever. That's a really good episode. Really explores a lot of the characters, a lot of good Bulk and Skull moments, a lot of good Cap moments, a lot of good Tommy moments. And other than that, I do enjoy, I believe they do a Cocker Ranger team-up episode, well, a Aquitian Ranger team-up episode, at one point, and I think that was really good too, just because I like the Aquitian Rangers, and I think they deserve their due diligence, their, time in the sun, if you will, their own spotlight. But yeah, so those would be my most badass favorite moments in Power Rangers Zeo. And there's other things that flit through my mind too, different like Zord combinations and when they get the Super Zeo Zords and stuff like that. But as far as most badass moments, it would be number one, absolutely Jason coming back to be Zeo Gold. And then my honorable mentions, of course, like I said, being the Zeo Aquitian Ranger team up. And then King for a Day, where Tommy's brainwashed. But let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of Power Rangers Zeo? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you in the middle? I don't think you would probably hate it, have a reason to hate it. It was really great. But let me know in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys have to say about it, see the conversation start, and what was your most badass moment in your opinion in Power Rangers Zeo? Maybe it's different than mine entirely. Gotta give props where props are due to the season starting with it looking like Billy was going to get the yellow Zeo Crystal power, and he ends up choosing Tanya and decides to take a step back. It would have been really cool. We would have had our first male yellow years before Mystic Force, and no need to do anything goofy with the footage like they do with Lightspeed Rescue and Time Force and a few of the other ones where they're clearly playing male characters, but their yellow is female only in Power Rangers. But yeah, it's a really good season, especially the lead off from Mighty Morphin and everything. The Zeo Quest stuff leading up to Zeo itself is really, really good. I like the Morphers, I like the Zord, the theme song. It's all really, really good. Zeo's just a really enjoyable season. So that's going to do it for today's video, most badass moments in Power Rangers Zeo. But again, what were your favorites? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for the love and support, the shares, and the people subscribing and all that good stuff. It means so much to me. I've been having a fantastic Power Month for the most part, other than other personal life things that are just ridiculous right now. But everybody's healthy and happy, so that's all that really matters. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'll see you next time. Stay hooked on heroes, and as always, may the power protect you. Bye-bye.